What's up, dudes and dudes of the internet? My name's Scyushi and we are back again with some more Minecraft Dungeons. Today we're going to be tackling the patch notes. Yesterday we ended up rushing the first level of the new DLC. Today I thought we would take a break from that and kind of just sidestep and talk about the patch. I should have technically had this video out yesterday as the first video, but I don't know. I was really excited about checking out the underwater area, and I still kind of am, despite the fact that it only seems to be 3 levels, which... Anyways, let's get into it. So there is a bunch of stuff that's coming with the free update versus the new content, which is the DLC. So the free content is going to end up adding raid captains, which I have actually fought a couple of these guys out in a normal mission. It's basically a villager that has like a banner behind him, right? Kind of the same as in normal vanilla Minecraft, but basically taking down these dangerous foes will immediately change the way you play. Well, okay, never mind their explanation. You know when you end up doing a daily trial and it ends up having some type of a really negative effect, like this one has 50% of melee mobs have the freezing enchantment, right? Basically, you kill a raid captain, something like that would end up being applied to your mission, so it kind of turns a normal mission into the same as a daily mission, right? And then you would end up progressing through the quest line, and once you end up finally beating the level, what's going to happen is the artifact chest at the end, you'll end up getting an additional chest, which will usually just have loot. It doesn't necessarily have artifact stuff specifically. But you can find many raid captains, and full disclosure, it's not worth fighting them. The loot that you get out of them is very minuscule. I've never had any good loot out of them so far, but I mean, I guess it's a neat mechanic. I guess. Anyways, then we've also got a bunch of new enchantments. So I will actually, somebody is a baller and got these over on the Reddit. Sorry that my game volume ended up going to 0, but that happens when I tab out of the game. Sorry. But we got all of the new enchantments. So there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different enchantments. And these are going to end up being as follows. So there's going to be refreshment, where defeating a mob reduces your health potions cooldown, allowing you to heal again more quickly, which is actually insanely good, because that basically means that anytime you're fighting a big group of enemies, you will probably be able to potion spam, which is neat that they finally added something to give us an advantage. They also gave us Luck of the Sea, which increases your luck, which boosts the chance that rare drops become unique items. So that can go all the way up to 30% luck increase. But I don't know what the base value is, so 30% might be really terrible. Who knows? But hopefully it would end up helping out, because... I mean, I guess it's not really going to help that much with the gilded gear, but either way, it still is a really nice enchantment. Then there's Overcharge, which this one is really good too from what I've seen. This is a bow enchantment. Continue to hold down the ranged attack button to double, triple, or quadruple charge your bow, increasing its damage each time. So somebody ended up having a comparison where they did like, I think they did like 6k damage or something, and then when they ended up doing a full charge, they had like 50k damage or something. Maybe it was a non-charge versus a charged attack or something. I don't know, but the point is that it's going to end up giving you mad chunkus damage, so charged bows might actually finally compete with crossbows, given if you have this enchantment, of course, but they're still not going to end up being that fun, I would argue. Guardian Strike. When you defeat a mob, you are given a temporary shield that reduces damage by 50%. Finally, we can actually rock some gear that doesn't have to all have armor rating, because the thing that sucks about Minecraft Dungeons is literally, as soon as you start getting to Apocalypse 10 and up, I find the game just starts to become a real chore, because one of the things that they ended up doing with this game, which is quite annoying, is armor and such is basically going to end up giving you a health value, and then depending on the armor, it'll either, like you can see, mine has a 35% damage reduction. Most armor doesn't even have that, so like this right here, it literally just gives us health. The problem is that there is no armor stat in the game, so unless you have good enchantments to complement it, if I put this armor on, I'm getting one shot. Despite the fact that I really like this armor type, and I really like the passive enchantments that are on it, I cannot use this at higher difficulties in the game because I just get killed right away. That's why pretty much anybody at the end game is always using some type of armor that ends up giving you damage reduction and so on and so forth. And it's a little disappointing, but at least now we have this Guardian Strike, so that could end up being pretty darn good, because basically if you defeat a mob, you'll get 50% damage reduction for a total of 4 seconds if you have it at Enchantment 3, which is pretty nuts. And then last but not least, Rush. It increases movement speed for 1 second after taking damage. And this can go all the way up to 90% movement speed. That's almost double your movement speed, which is pretty darn good. You know, as kind of a get out of jail free card, really nice and quick. Like, oh, I took damage, run. Doesn't really help out that much for the end game. I mean, maybe it would for an archer build, but again, you have to take damage reduction armor, otherwise you just, I don't know. I'm interested to see how all of those end up playing out, though, that's for sure. Okay, so then we've also got oh, check this out. Okay, this one's gonna be huge. Look at this. Screen shake off. Oh my god, it took this long for them to add that to the game. Oh, that's a big deal, guys, because let me actually see. Where's my hammer? Yeah, this bad boy. Okay, this thing normally shakes the heck out of the screen every single time you would use it, and now it doesn't do anything. Oh my god, that's so beautiful. Oh my god, seriously, dude, that is so nice. I'm not even kidding. That is actually, like, really good. Where the heck is my other weapon? I lost track of everything. These aren't organized. The heck? Anyways, we can turn off the screen shake now, which is beautiful. There it is. Jeez. Which is awesome. Thank goodness. And then there's also going to end up being 10 new achievements. And for a limited time only, we have the 1-year anniversary event, which event ends in minutes, hours, to, I guess, 12 days. Yeah. So basically, you can see this handsome lad right here in the middle of the screen, the hero character. That's basically all of the stuff that you'll end up getting. There is going to end up being the weapon, which is the sparkler, which is a torch that we already have right now. It kind of operates the same as a diamond sword, but I mean, it's pretty cool. And then there's going to be the Sugar Rush Bow, which has a chance of enraging mobs and hits multiple targets. It's a special event item, so you can never get these again. So you guys might want to go out of your way to actually grab them. And then somebody else ended up having... There it is. So there's the cake armor. I guess somebody must have found this out of the game's code or something, because it just says on this guy's... it just says on this guy's armor, it just says unset values. So I don't know whether or not somebody ended up actually getting this yet, because I don't think you can. Unless you cheese the in-game timer or something. But ultimately, what you're doing for, like, all of that is going to end up giving you the cape that's on the back of this guy. So somebody else actually has that as well. So I'll put a screenshot of what that looks like. It's just a pink cape. If you like cake, then you'll like the cape. Yeah, and then we're already moving on to the DLC features. So the DLC features, there's going to be 3 new underwater missions, which is kind of disgusting. I wish that there was more. There's literally this one map, and then you can find the secret map that unlocks the Radiant Ravine, which I did end up finding in yesterday's video. I have a timestamp of where you can end up finding that map, because I don't really feel the need to end up making an individual video talking about it. And then there's the boss. And that's it. I mean, of course, you can end up getting a daily mission to spawn in here, but whew, that's kind of sad that there's just so few, but oh well, whatever. So there's a mix of salty new mobs and enemies. I actually really like the underwater area. There's new weapons, gear, artifacts, 2 new skins, and a baby turtle. What do they mean, 2 new skins? Oh, 2 new skins as in your character, which I already just went back to Minecraft Steve. But yeah, then there's the baby turtle pet, which is the one that you can see kind of floating around me right now. Why does he keep rolling? I'm not pressing anything. So anyways, there's going to end up being all the new weapons and armor and artifacts, which as far as I know, let me see. Yeah, so this guy, I think this is all of the new uniques. I'm not sure if it includes the I'm not sure if it includes the new artifacts, but we'll go through it and take a peek if you don't mind being spoiled with these. The Encrusted Anchor, which I hear is insane, by the way. Like, I got a buddy of mine, and it's his favorite weapon now. Slow but powerful, inflicts poison, absorbs some knockback, and pulls enemies in. The fact that it naturally has gravity on it is actually pretty darn good, so you could have that with explosion or something. That would be nice. Then there's the Bubble Buster, which, of course, these are the unique versions of the normal weapon versions that you can find. But this does bubble damage, which basically snares an enemy in a bubble for until they end up taking damage. But this unique quality is that it hits multiple targets when charged. So that could be pretty good. Then there's the Nautical Crossbow. Fires harpoons. Chance to fire piercing bolts is the unique enchantment. Pretty cool. I was really hoping that there would end up being some type of a harpoon launcher. I'm a little disappointed that we don't just have a harpoon as a weapon type in general, but whatever, I guess. Then there's the Sponge Striker. So this has rapid slashes and deals absorbed damage during attack combo. So I guess while you're taking damage and dealing damage at the same time, you're going to end up... It's kind of like it gives you thorns during the attack animation, which is kind of weird. Okay, whatever. Nimble Turtle Armor, which is going to have a 35% damage reduction, 25% healing boost, and boost speed after hit. So I guess it just has one of the normal, one of the new enchantments, but as a passive, which is pretty cool. And then we've got the Glow Squid Armor, which I haven't even gotten the normal Squid Armor. Lots of these I haven't even got the normal version of. But brief invulnerability while rolling, which is honestly something that should just be a normal feature in this game, because rolling is absolutely useless unless you have that perk. Release an ink cloud when rolling. I'm assuming that blinds enemies so that they lose aggro or something for a moment. And then 15% movement speed aura, meaning that it speeds up your buddies. So that could end up being pretty cool. Yeah, and then that's all the ones that this guy's listed. So maybe we don't actually have all the new artifacts. But we can kind of guess what most of, well, maybe we can't. There is the Eye of the Guardian. I have no idea what that does. I'm sorry, guys. I'll see if I can end up finding a screenshot and then putting it in the video. Then there's the Harpoon Quiver, which that I already know is really, really good. Because basically what it's going to do is give you harpoons, and it basically shoots straight through enemies. So think about that. Think about when you have a bow that has all of these reactions, where it's got even more projectiles, chain reaction, ricochet, multi-shot. All of those can end up proccing every time it ends up triggering on an enemy. So this being able to phase through enemies just means that it just clears the entire screen. It's beautiful. Probably not as good as the Electro Quiver. That thing is insanely overpowered, especially when you have basically a shotgun or a bazooka like this thing right here. But I just don't have an Electro Quiver that's a high enough level. Then there's just a bunch of fixes, a bunch of stuff about local co-op, can be played without signing into a Microsoft account on PlayStation, blah, 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 blah. We don't really need to go through all of those. You guys can end up checking them out for yourselves. But another big thing that they ended up adding, not necessarily in this update, they already added it, I think, a couple weeks beforehand, but there is now cloud saving, which is really cool. So basically from the main menu, let me see if I can do this properly. Cloud saving meaning that you can at any point go, whoop, no, hero settings, there we go, and then we upload hero. It really doesn't want me to upload the hero. I don't know why. But anyways, we just do this. Bop that. It just says that I have DLC stuff on this character, meaning that quite literally if I... so basically now what would happen is if I ended up buying this game on Nintendo Switch, I could download this character, and then I could just continue my progress, and then I could swap it vice versa and everything. However, as it mentioned, I have access to DLC stuff on this character, most of all the cosmetics, and it's saying that it would disable those if I didn't own the DLC on the other account, right? So let's actually, this will delete your hero from, this character contains cosmetic items that are tied to ownership. Cosmetic items will not transfer from platform to platform unless you own the DLC. You'll still end up keeping all of the gear, because one of the cool things about this game is that even in the odd chance that you end up having one of your friends that has the DLC and you don't, you can still join them and you can still get access to all the DLC content, which is pretty cool. Anyways, that was relatively quick. Pretty short patch, gotta say. Pretty good update though. Overall, I'm really liking the new area, but it's gonna be short-lived. It's gonna be short and sweet. We do know that the next DLC that is coming this year for sure is going to be The End, and I'm hoping that they're gonna go all out with that one, similar to how they did with the Nether, where we got 6 levels. I really hope they end up doing that with The End, because as much as I love the underwater level, my big criticism, and I mention this almost every video with all of the DLC, is that they end up having 3 levels and each of them ends up being like 40 minutes, rather than what they should have done, which is take this level and split it into 2. You know, there's always even 2 different themes that you end up going through with these levels, just because they're so freaking long and they're trying to keep them active and exciting. Because the main game, I feel, does that very well and is balanced very well for your playtime as well as accessibility. You know, the levels don't really last a super long amount of time, except for some of the late game levels, which kind of ends up getting reflected in all of the DLC. But my point is that if they split these up, then it would end up giving us 6 levels at 20 minutes each instead of 3 levels at 40 minutes each. And I think that that would be a lot more appealing, because then they could end up splitting up all the gear, and then you could kind of just have a bite-sized chunk of just go in, get it done, leave. I don't always have 40 minutes to spare to do these levels, and these water levels are kind of a slog when you don't have a speed gear. I mean, obviously, when I'm recording it and having fun with you guys, it's fine, we take our sweet time going through these levels and exploring the beauty that they are. But when I was with my friends the other day going through Coral Rise, whew, the level just kept on going and going, dude, because we're underwater, so you're going really slow. But anyways, that's going to do it for me today. Smash like, sub for more, buy the merch you want to support the channel, and have a great day, gamers. Tomorrow we'll end up having the next level, so that'll be exciting. Bye, guys.